Ciao Silvia. Ciao,
Ciao, ciao Giacomo.
ciao. Quel fondale lo devi dare anche a me perché ho sempre questo vecchio qui.
Te l'ho già dato, però te lo rimando.
Sì?
Sì.
Coglienimento, sono confuso.
Te lo
Ma
mando, te lo mando.
io Allora,
Tranquillo.
loro comprano sostanzialmente e faranno un ordine di 90.000 dollari, quindi non è banale, comprano tutto, cioè l'History Garden. Il punto maggiore che comprano sono aspetta un secondo.
Sono andata
Eh,
sul sito, sono collegati già comunque, li vedi
sì,
tu?
sì,
Ah, ok, ok.
ti dico velocemente,
Mhm.
loro comprano, diciamo, quest'anno e l'anno prossimo tanti delle Ready, degli English e del
Mhm.
Story Garden. Insomma, ne comprano quest'anno 1.000, l'anno
Bene,
prossimo 3.000 per livello, meno Smart Start.
ok.
Split Edition di tutto, Ready, English e l'American English
Di
di
The
The Story
Story,
Garden.
certo. Mhm. Sì,
Ok,
sì,
giusto per
certo.
inquadrare perché immagino.
Sì, sì, l'avevamo.
eh, per me. Ah sì,
Ok.
lo sto vedendo.
Mm. Good
Quindi,
morning. Hello. We can't, we can't hear you. I think you got the microphone off. We can see Elvio. We can see Rodrigo.
Hello, hello,
Hi, hi
Giacomo
there.
and Silvia. How are you?
Hi, hi, Rodrigo. Nice to meet
Nice to
you.
meet you, Silvia.
Nice to meet you too, by the way. Yes. Sorry, I can't speak Spanish, but we'll copy it in
We are
English.
waiting some sales teams.
Mhm. You got a big team, eh, Rodrigo?
Yes, big team.
Great. What's the time now in Paraguay at the moment? What's the local time? What time is it
Now is 10 o'clock, 10
in the morning?
a.m.
Okay.
Yes, we are 5 hours
Yeah.
difference with you.
Yes.
¿Cómo sacamos el audio de del televisor?
Good morning, Selva.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine too.
You tell me when we can kick off with Giacomo, who will speak shortly, and then I can start with a presentation.
Rodrigo, ¿tú me dices? ¿Me oyes, Rodrigo?
Hola, Giacomo. Estoy
Hola, ok.
intentando conectar el volumen. Dame un
Ok,
segundo.
ok.
Ahí está, speaker rapid test. Pero este es el mío. Entonces hay que poner más fuerte en la tele. Ahí. Y ahora decirle que te hablo. Giacomo, ¿me escuchas?
Sí, perfectamente.
Un poquito más fuerte. Me sale acá en mi. Sí. Ahí. Hola.
Sí, sí, te oigo.
Ahora sí.
Sì, sì, è
Mm,
perfetto.
¿Puedo empezar?
Sí, empecemos solamente.
Ok, hola, buenas tardes, buenos días para vosotros. Yo esta primera introducción la tengo en español y luego os paso con Silvia que la hace en inglés. Allora, vamos a ver, creo que Rodrigo un poco se ha explicado de quién somos. Eli Publishing Group es una editorial que lleva de 1977 en el mercado de idiomas en el mundo, especialmente con inglés, francés, alemán, italiano y español como lengua extranjera. Y paulatinamente la área internacional se ha convertido en un área minoritaria en los años, ha crecido muchísimo el segmento escolar en Italia y Eli es líder en primaria, en algunas asignaturas secundarias, es una editorial muy fuerte en Italia en todas las asignaturas. Pero quería lanzar el área internacional porque somos la única editorial italiana que tiene proyección internacional en todos los idiomas. Entonces yo entré en esta compañía en 2023, ¿ok? Y llevo 3 años y soy director general de la división. Tenemos comerciales que abarcan áreas de todo el mundo. Digamos que América Latina la sigo yo directamente porque, por el español, porque trabajé en Santillana, en Microgil, en Madrid. Tengo una vinculación bastante histórica y fuerte con América Latina. Entonces, la apertura con Rodrigo y luego este primer paso. Ahora, con el tema específico luego podréis ver también otras asignaturas, nosotros estamos abiertos también a ver otros idiomas, pero el centro ahora es empezar en Paraguay con inglés. Nuestros métodos venden muchísimo en México, en Ecuador, en Colombia. De hecho, al rato tengo una call con Colombia y Perú especialmente. Estamos entrando desde hace 6 meses en Brasil con una gran distribuidora que distribuye Oxford en todo el país, por lo cual nos estamos potenciando con, digamos, los mejores distribuidores de América Latina en cada país. La idea es siempre un distribuidor, un país, total confianza y exclusividad, en el sentido que el inglés será de librería Books, no de otros, ¿ok? La introducción es sencillamente, nosotros tenemos varias líneas y tenemos, y luego Silvia Petrosillo, que me seguirá, yo estaré al principio, pero como he dicho, tengo otra reunión. Si Petrosillo es la responsable marketing, nosotros tenemos un departamento de formación bastante importante y aparte de Silvia, tenemos un equipo de formadores por el mundo que, como le decía Rodrigo, cuando se precise, por ejemplo, en febrero, en marzo, cuando sea, nosotros tenemos gente que están en Sao Paulo, en otros países de América Latina, que se pueden, digamos, participar en eventos ahí en Paraguay. Entonces, nada, la idea es sustancialmente presentar un poco los libros básicos que tenemos, los bestsellers de cada línea, que son The Smart Start, que es el primero para pre-primary, The Story Garden, que es el libro para primary y es en American English. Y luego hay otros 2 libros, uno para secundaria de nivel más bajo, uno de secundaria para más arriba, que son English Goals y Ready for Planet English. Con Rodrigo hemos hecho toda la repartición, digamos, de las copias por nivel y vosotros conocéis mejor que yo el sistema de Paraguay. Nosotros, como el acuerdo lo estamos firmando en estas horas y empezaremos a enviar las muestras la semana que viene, pero tardarán unos cuantos días. Sí, pero hay unas herramientas por en medio que pueden ser ebook, por lo cual os vamos a facilitar licencias directamente, Silvia, de los libros para que lo podáis enviar y realmente de todos los productos que tenemos que os explicará hoy. Y luego en la página web ELi Publishing, que es la página web de inglés, en cada ficha de cada producto, tenemos una muestra normalmente del índice y de una unidad piloto, de unidad 1 en PDF. Por lo cual, ya desde hoy podéis descargar prácticamente cada uno, en la unidad 1 de Story Garden, la unidad 1 de Ready, y empezar a mandarla a docentes porque para que se den una idea del índice del libro y de la primera unidad, cómo está estructurado. ¿Ok? Antes de que lleguen los libros físicos, empezar a mover o con ebook. Yo empezaría, digamos, primero un barrido con PDF, profesor medio interesado, ebook, profesor altamente interesado, muestra, con ese escalado. Y luego, por esos sitios, explicará también cuál es nuestra página web, por nuestra plataforma digital, cómo se hace, se puede hacer, siempre de una forma, digamos, por encima. Luego podemos hacer, paulatinamente, empecemos a trabajar, podemos hacer formaciones más específicas sobre algunos temas que Rodrigo considerará. Entonces, con Silvia, en un segundo momento, y con nuestra formadora, teacher trainer, Sushil, podemos abarcar algún tema específico si es necesario. Ahora estamos en plena campaña, por lo cual al cerrar ventas y no creo que va a haber mucho tiempo, pero probablemente para el año que viene, donde queremos crecer mucho con las ventas en el año que viene, se pueden hacer cosas en el medio. Ok, eso espero que da una pincelada por encima de la Eli y no robo más tiempo a Silvia, que es la parte más importante porque va a explicar un poco el producto y como he dicho, libros que en el área Latinoamérica son conocidos.
Okay.
Rodrigo, si no tienes otra pregunta, paso a Silvia.
No, go
Perfecto,
ahead,
claro.
Silvia.
Venga,
Sí,
claro.
thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Giacomo, and well, thank you to all of you to be here. I'm very pleased to be here. So my name is Silvia. I just wanted to reinforce Giacomo's message. So sorry, there's another one coming in, another Eduardo. Let him in the Zoom room. Okay. So I wanted to reinforce again this message, Mr. Rodrigo and team. So I'm open to organize webinars for you, for your sales team or for your teachers. It's fine even in November if you need, because I know we have a different school calendar. So take your time, but with a little bit of time in advance, we can organize. We got quite a few speakers that I can call, especially online, and also someone locally based nearby, almost nearby Paraguay. For the moment, we got someone based in São Paulo, so it could travel anyway.
Okay.
Let me first.
Podemos ir haciendo unos stopover y contándoles un poco lo que estoy explicando.
Digo, creo que
Okay.
tienes que bajar el micrófono, por si no se escucha.
Ok,
Apagarlo.
ya como
Dime.
le vamos a decir a Silvia que vaya haciendo unos stops para ir también contándole acá al equipo de ventas
Ok, ok,
que
ok.
nos está
Perfetto.
contando.
Ok,
Cos'è?
capito Silvia?
Sai che
Ha
no,
detto,
questa no.
ha detto andare piano perché qualcuno non parla inglese,
Ok,
quindi o comunque lo vuole rinforzare, per cui lo fa un attimo di stop.
ok,
Quindi vai
sì,
piano, poi fermati e lui fa una specie di traduzione simultanea.
ok. So the first thing I wanted to show you is actually our website, because we launched this new website dedicated to English language teaching last January. So it's a new website, almost new, and because it's so rich with resources, I just think that it could be helpful for you. You can decide to actually invite you to study, to browse, to navigate on this website, because the more you know about the content for each product, I think the better you can share the information, your knowledge with your customers, with your teachers. It's a very intuitive, easy to navigate website. It's so simple. It's for teachers, but it can be useful for you. Of course, we got a catalog page. It's very easy to navigate. You can filter, for example, according to courses. Let's imagine courses.
Tienes que acercarte un poco.
Silvia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you once in a while, okay?
Yes.
To translate to the people here. Okay, lo que quiere está contando en la página y que puedan investigar si quieren sobre la página ELi Publishing. Entren y comiencen a navegar, comiencen a investigar, comiencen a curiosear, que van a aprender muchísimo, porque es súper, súper nueva, súper interactiva y súper fácil de manejar. Ok, Silvia.
Okay, sorry, apologies, I can't speak Spanish. I promise I'll study. I'll try to speak slowly, and I'll try to give you very few key concepts. So, for example, let's imagine we select here, you can select pre-primary, primary, secondary, and adult and young adult. Our main focuses, though, are pre-primary, primary, and secondary sectors, okay? Let's imagine we focus here, and let's imagine we focus on English goals, for example. English goals, it's a course book for middle, lower secondary school. And here you can find the split edition, which I think is more appropriate to your local curriculum or your local school. Here you can find the description of the book, of course, of the series, some USP, some unique selling points, some key points describing the book and the main aspect, the most important ones. And this is the part I wanted to show you. For most of our series, of our courses, we have a book trailer. It's a video for, a promoting video that you can share with your customers. There's a sample download, so you can download, as Giacomo was mentioning before, like 34 pages from the student's book with the workbook, because they are together here, and the teacher's book as well. You can download it, you can share with your teacher, with your customers. I know it's not enough because teachers always want practical, physical copies, printed copies, but we think that this material can help. We find it useful at the first approach. So book trailer, sample download. You have also got a link for free without registration to the digital demo or the digital book or the course book. It's something to get to know the series. I think it could be really appealing to teachers. And you also got a brochure download. You can download, you can have, all the main USPs here, unique selling points, the description, the internal of the course book.
Ok, Silvia.
Yeah.
Entonces, como se fijaron, tiene la página para seleccionar pre-primary. Es bien entendible lo que estaba planteando, ¿sí? Pero le seleccioné lo principal. El video que tienen para compartir con los profesores, tienen las muestras que pueden bajar, tienen el brochure que también pueden bajar y tienen el video digital que también pueden bajar. Todo eso se puede compartir en forma inmediata. Sabemos, como dijo ella, que los profesores quieren ver el material impreso, físico y todo lo demás, pero eso sí se puede adelantar.
Sí, sin registrarse.
Sin registrar, sin nada, esto es totalmente libre y abierto. Por eso es importante que experimente eso. Thank you, Silvia. Go on.
Thank you.
Please.
Okay, so we think this could be a very first contact with the customer. Then, okay, there's the rest of information on this page. And another important thing is this section dedicated to the resources for teachers and for students. Feel free to register for free, of course, to the website. I always think that the promoter, the distributor, should be the first one to know better than I do, of course, but to know the product, because this way you could inform better the teacher. If you know what sort of resources teachers can find here. Here, for example, for this series, at the moment, we have got starter unit and revision unit. And the students can download all the audio tracks, for example. Teachers can access everything for free, but they need to register to the website. Here, I'm already logged in. Students do not need to register. It's open to them. Okay, so answer keys, sometimes we put some answer keys only for teachers, of course, under the teacher's profile. It's not, it's password protected, okay, because they have to register. Yeah, okay. So this is
Okay, so
something.
everything is only the teacher need to be registered. And what codes they need? I mean, the school, the name of the teacher, or very simple to register?
Yes. It's faster to be registered. Yes, we are asking for some data, some information, like yes, the name, I think, of the school, of course, the subject they're interested in, and the province, the country as well, because we also try to build our database, of course. You can do it, of course, for yourself, or you can cheat. I mean, you can just invent, for example, the name of the school, of course, even though it will affect our database. But we are asking for very essential information. It's very easy. We rarely receive emails asking for help for the login because it's really simple.
Ok, entonces es súper fácil para los profesores solamente que tienen que registrarse, no los alumnos. Y es súper fácil de registrar. Poner el nombre del profesor, nombre del colegio, qué sé yo. Incluso ella dijo entre paréntesis, pueden poner más algún nombre en colegio, qué sé yo.
O sea, el mismo profesor puede poner sus datos y le puede...
Exactamente. Y súper fácil de registrarse
Sí,
y va a tener acceso a
y le
la...
va a llegar un mail de confirmación y queda habilitado la plataforma.
Y los alumnos no necesitan registrarse porque ahí tienen solamente sus audios y todo lo demás.
Muy intuitivo es el...
Sí, súper fácil. Así al mirar si
Sí.
pueden. Sí. Ok, Silvia, thank you.
Okay. Another thing I just wanted to show you is, for example, here we created, it's here, the teachers area, sorry. So this is another important area I wanted to show you, just for you to know. Then I think you can show to your customers if you want to impress them, of course, because here we got a link to webinar and webinar archive. We got a channel on YouTube where we have put together a playlist with lots of webinars on ELT. There are academic, methodological webinars, a little bit of commercial webinars, but there's a lot. And I think you can play with this YouTube channel a little bit like a free hub for teachers where they can get some update about, professional development, let's say. Then there is access to the toolbox. Toolbox is a hub within the website full of free resources. So we got like culture resources, for example, this one. We got a link to Kahoot. I don't know if you know. We put together ELi brand and Kahoot, and we created this branded English grammar games, and they're very popular in Europe, at least. I don't know well, I think even in America, to be honest. And then there are lots of other, for example, article or an interactive game online, some functions, some grammar video lessons, Google lessons on grammar that they can, for example, customize and print. Our editorial team has created lots of these free resources. I usually give these free resources through Facebook to our community on Facebook. But I wanted to show you because sometimes, by saying to teachers, okay, we got this free set, you can also download them if you want. You can download, have your set that you, as a libreria, decide to give to your customers. But because it's so rich, I wanted to show you even these entry tests, these grammar quizzes, some worksheets about the 2030 agenda, etc., etc. To be honest, there's so much. So I think it was worth mentioning to you.
Ok, Silvia. Entonces, si quieren impresionarle a los profesores, por ejemplo, le pueden decir, en esta página de YouTube tenemos un montón de elementos de académicos, metodológicos,
Sí.
instructivos, todo este tipo de videos tenemos para mostrarle a ellos. Eso si quieren impresionarle. Pero también el Toolbox que tiene, por ejemplo, recursos gratuitos, juegos de gramática, de inglés, juegos interactivos, lecciones de Google,
Sí.
cursos gratis que crean ellos. Y un tema que le gusta mucho a los profesores, el tema del test. Siempre te preguntan, ¿tenés el test? Ahí donde dice entry test. Tenemos el entry test y esto yo les anticipo, nomás les estoy mostrando el más anticipado. A ver qué les parece, ¿verdad? Entonces esto es como para impresionarle a ellos porque ellos permanentemente están actualizando eso.
Sí, a nosotros en la promoción nos preguntaron si esto tenía también el...
Ah, sí, genial. Eso. Y esto demuestra más lo ya por anticipado.
Pero sí.
Webinar, cada tanto hay webinar.
Sí, también los webinars, siempre hay webinars que se hacen por ELi que nosotros le vamos a estar anticipando, pero en YouTube ustedes ya tienen todo eso.
Y ahí es donde está donde se decía, digamos, los research, donde están los webinars. Ya hay webinars que tú entras y están grabados, digamos.
Silvia, can you go back to the YouTube and see the webinars that we are
Yes.
having already, please?
Okay, this is the webinar page on the website. At the moment, actually, I have to include because we will have one webinar next 20th of November, for this fall. And then
Hay
here,
uno el 20 de noviembre. un webinar. Yes.
I haven't added yet.
So we have plenty of webinar all registered in YouTube already.
And here, yes, to the archive, you can actually go directly
Ahí, por ejemplo, le está
if it
mostrando
works.
todo lo que
Okay,
tiene.
here. Okay, this is exactly our playlist dedicated to ELT. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
So as you can see, I put here all the recorded video, so teachers can actually watch them in another moment, in a second moment. You can share the specific webinar, for example, or you can share, the page, the playlist, the entire playlist. I don't know. I think they are all good quality, honestly. We always try to be in touch with a professional. For example, this guy is Rob Howard, is the president of IATEFL Poland. IATEFL is the main association of English teachers, internationally known. This one is based in Poland, but it's quite popular. He used to work in USA, so he used to be very popular also in business English, for example. And then we got Nina Loader. She's one of our authors. And I think you know it because she is also one of OUP author, and I know you also distribute OUP, so you might know her. I don't remember now what she wrote for OUP, but as you can see, there's lots of material, and I think it could be useful. Yes, I think because teachers are always keen and always looking for constant professional development and up to date and new trends and updates on didactic and on methodologies and a little bit of going into depth on how they can teach and they can manage the classroom because it's always very difficult. So
yeah, I just gonna explain them. Por ejemplo, si ellos quieren, mi profesor quiere hoy integrating soft skill in English language, te pide. Las partes suaves del tema del inglés. Y ahí justo tengo un video para mostrarle, ping, le hacen el link, le envían al profesor un seminario que ya hicimos. Y son toda gente especializada, lo que está contando ahora, que tratan de traerle siempre a los mejores personas que estuvieron en Estados Unidos, en Polonia, pero siempre referentes del tema del inglés que hacen estos talleres.
Entonces sería interesante que vayan con sus tablets.
Exactamente.
Entonces bajan ya
ahí.
Entonces van.
Sí, hay cosas que pueden bajar directamente a su computadora ya. Ustedes, por eso es importante que comiencen a navegar e investigar la página.
Sí. Silvia, un segundo.
Sí.
Yes.
Rodrigo, como te había dicho, me tengo que ir porque tengo una conexión. Entonces, ya tengo listo pedido las muestras. Luego, si eso, llámame o mándame un WhatsApp. Espero conoceros todos en persona porque mi intención es ir a Paraguay en mayo, cuando estaré en Brasil, por lo cual quiero conocer todo el equipo y agradecerle esta primera campaña. Y yo les dejo con Silvia. ¿Ok?
Muchas gracias.
Hasta luego a todos.
Ciao.
Hasta luego, Jacob. All yours, Silvia.
Okay. So, because I heard at the beginning that you might be very interested in the digital book, shall I show you our digital platform? Or shall I start giving you an overview on the main products? What do you prefer?
¿Quieres ver la plataforma digital o ya vamos directo a los productos?
No, un ratito si miramos.
Okay, we can see the platform, Silvia, please.
Ok. Ok, vediamo qua. Ah, sì. Okay, so this is the platform. This is we have our own platform, which is called ELi Digital Hub. We have it branded. It's in-house. It's ours, and we have developed all our digital books, and digital books comes with extra resources and videos and audios embedded, of course. Usually the interface you're looking at the moment is the teacher's one. The teachers has got a more complete, of course, access, a more complete display of resources compared to the students, for example. So, for example, this is what we offer with English goals. You got word list, flashcards, we got the corrections, you got mini dictionary, you got extra lessons called global goals, you got posters in a digital format. This is all for teachers, of course.
Silvia, we had definitely a lot. I just gonna explain then just 1 second. Ok, la plataforma es, primero que nada, es una plataforma propia. Es interesante saber eso porque muchas editoriales no tienen plataforma propia. Ellos mismos desarrollaron esta plataforma. Segundo, todos los recursos para los profesores, como sabemos ya, tienen sus recursos extraordinarios los profesores. Y los alumnos tienen lo que tienen que tener. Tienen su videíto, su audio y eso, hasta
Sí,
ahí. Pero el profesor tiene todos estos elementos a
sí.
su favor.
La interfase que está mostrando ahora, o sea, la página que está mostrando ahora es el sitio donde entran los profesores.
Sí.
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 Ok, Silvia, yes.
Okay, so we got, for example, the yes, digital grammar bank. I show you something. This is a PDF with give me a second. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, okay. With a link to extra grammar explanations with extra activity. So this is something extra compared to than the student's book, than the course book. So this is something to go into more details.
Ella
Or
está diciendo que además de los
sí,
libros, en el fondo tienen materiales extras. Por ejemplo, este banco de gramática es un material extra que es free para los profesores, digamos, que está fuera de los libros que van a usar.
Como material de apoyo.
Como material de apoyo, sí, como
O sea,
material
todos los
extra.
recursos
Sí.
son del docente, pero son todos extras, que no están en el libro
Exacto.
del alumno, pero que puede sí utilizar.
Sí.
sì. Allora, so the interface, this one is for teachers. So teachers has got everything. So it's got the student's book in the interactive format. I'm going to show you in a second, plus all these extra activities and these bits. Usually the student's book has got, for example, the audio scripts. Maybe they've got, I think, the digital grammar bank, which is something extra, and the mini dictionary. So the student's book usually has got part of these extra resources, okay? Mostly has been put together for teachers.
Solamente algunos de los recursos van para los profesores. Es como eso de arriba que dijo Mini Dictionary, Digital Grammar, Audio Script, se va para los estudiantes. El resto, todito para los profesores.
Okay. The teachers is, for example, now it's an open file, but you can actually download here the entire teacher's guide in the PDF format. Some teachers, we decided to include this PDF, only the PDF of the teacher's guide, so not the rest, but the teacher's guide, which could be downloaded because some teachers wanted to have their teaching notes at hand, and they found it useful also to share maybe some tips, some explanation, for example. So I think we are among the few publishers, maybe the only one, to include this PDF, entire PDF of the teacher's guide. And then, as you can see,
Tiene los teacher book de los profesores ya en PDF, así como vieron hace rato, completito.
Y los profesores los pueden descargar en PDF.
see.
Sí.
Okay. And then another way you can search all the resources is by type. So audio, PDF. PDF is full of PDF, this series in particular, the videos, then the collections on everything, the activities, which are the interactive ones, the web link, for example, to the grammar or to the mini dictionary, etc. And we have also got the karaoke function. This series in particular is very rich with resources.
I haven't seen the karaoke before, Silvia, I must tell you.
Sorry, you?
I haven't seen the karaoke before in other publishers. Tiene el
You
karaoke,
haven't?
para distraerse, para divertirse, o sea que...
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So, it's I think it's something, yes, also with other publishers, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a part dedicated to the resources. Okay. This is the part, the interactive book. So we start, I don't know, with unit 1, and then you have, all the activities which have been put in the interactive modality mode. You can find it here, for example, this is an activity you can fill in here online, for example. So, what's B, where's B? Okay, B is the dictionary. I don't know, let's imagine I put these, for example. At the end, you got the check.
Check
Okay,
1 second, Silvia, please.
Este es el digital, este es lo que va a proyectar la profe.
Sí, lo que veo es que es interactivo.
Es interactivo,
ustedes
sí.
pueden ir completando.
Sí.
Exacto. Y es lo que habíamos comentado hace rato, el tema del, si es que van a tener, por ejemplo, el workbook, que al teacher le podemos dar el digital book para que pueda proyectar. O sea, pero eso vamos a ver después con Rodrigo. Pero sí, de esa manera es que la teacher va a poder proyectar el digital book.
Claro, ella va a proyectar y sus alumnos van a trabajar en el
Exacto,
workbook.
exacto.
Otra preguntita antes de que continúe. Súper. Ok, Silvia.
Y los chicos también van a tener acceso a un digital books.
Sí.
Cada libro tiene un código para que los chicos tengan acceso al digital book.
Shall I go on?
Yep.
Yes, of course, in order to access the book, it's, I think, like all the other publishers, we print in the student's book a serial number. Then the pupil, the students, has to open an account on ELi Digital Hub and insert their code to activate their copy. Teachers' book, teachers' guides include a number which is not serial. At the moment, it is exactly the same. Each teacher's guide of, for example, English Goals 1 has got the same code. Okay? We thought this one, to be honest, in our opinion, this one is working anyway because it's for teachers. What we need to sell, of course, are the students' book, the copies for each student. So the code is actually a different number every time. And teachers as well has just to set up and open and register to ELi Digital Hub, open an account and try and then activate one code. I will be happy after this session to have you to register to ELi Digital Hub, and I will be happy to share with you the free code of the teacher's guide. Maybe this one, for example, that you can start browsing and getting familiar with a little bit.
Ok, eso es importante lo que dijo. Le invita a todos ustedes para que se registren y a ustedes le puedan participar con algún teacher book de algún material que van a manejar ustedes. ¿Sí? Ok, Silvia.
Okay. Yes, so this is a platform where we got, even everything at the end. So they're all the section of the book. You can have video and audio activity like that one, which is interactive. You also got, of course, like the tools to, for example, well, I'm sure you know them, like okay, the highlighter, I want to highlight something, for example, you can use all these tools, teachers can use tools, for example, also to cover a part of the activity and then show just one if they're using a projector or an interactive whiteboard, like all the other platform. I just think that this platform is really intuitive. I think it's simple, and I think we got everything all together, which is a good thing. We also got this extra plus, which is a little bit attached from ELi. Well, it's still part of ELi Digital Hub. I mean, it's the same brand, but we can also have virtual classroom and test room. So we have got a series of ready to be used tests, like you can filter there, you can filter there by level, language level, and then you can assign. The most important thing, now we haven't got enough time, but you can assign the test to your classroom you have previously created. So this means that the teacher creates the classroom online and the students, of course, has to activate the digital book and get into the classroom created by the teacher. It's a normal procedure like all the other platform. But then I think that we have everything all together so you can access this part. So we are here now because I click here. From here, so it's not another URL, it's not another link, if you see what I mean. I think it's really good.
Just 1 second, Silvia.
See?
In the ELi test, okay. There. Okay. Thank you. Ustedes tienen la posibilidad, esto no va a ser inmediato, obviamente cuando se haga el entrenamiento va a ser más tranquilo y detallado, pero lo que ustedes pueden hacer es, por ejemplo, su alumno se va a inscribir en una clase, ustedes le van a inscribir en una clase específica y el profesor puede tomar de todo esto que tiene acá, puede tomar los exámenes y donde dice assign le va a asignar a ese alumno.
O sea, el profesor lo que hace es crear un curso.
Sí.
Hace hace el listado de su curso y luego, como los chicos van a tener acceso al book digital, cuando él tenga su curso creado, digamos, les asigna nomás el examen o la
Sí,
práctica
sí.
que les quiera asignar a cada uno de ellos y los chicos contestan en su digital book.
Son todos diferentes.
Sí,
Son todos diferentes.
eso es lo que les encanta a los profesores cuando
Que
tienen
tiene una
todo ya.
variedad.
Tienen variedad de
Sí, y
actividades.
tienen
Sí.
todo ya listo, no es que tienen que preparar los exámenes.
Como dirían los teachers, amazing.
Sí, ¿verdad? Me dicen.
Y eso lo hace, él lo hace completo en digital.
Sí.
Los chicos sí.
Es como la plataforma nuestra. Dice que una tarea le da para todos y una vez que ya van chequeando, uno nomás ya recibe. Y sería lo mismo. Creería, ¿verdad?
Sí, así. Ok, Silvia.
Okay. So this is was a quick overview of of this platform. I'm happy also, to get into more details. Maybe in another moment we can have, a longer session if you want. But I always think that it's important for you to start getting familiar, and then you can come back with some questions, and then we can explore it with my colleague who is more into this digital world, and can give you a better overview of the potentials, the potentiality of this tool.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I said at the beginning, I think the most important thing at the beginning, because we are getting to know each other, I think is the website. Yes, please get familiar with the website and the platform. There's another one, Mr. Rodrigo. I'm just telling you because Eli Cloud, this one. I'm not going to show you now because I don't want to cause you confusion. Eli Cloud is a sort of intranet between Eli and the distributor, the promoter, is where we can actually upload when we have heavy contents. If you want, I don't know, a video, if you want a PDF or some brochures, some roller banner, if you want a catalog in PDF or something, yeah, all the samples, for example, I usually upload them there. It's a place where we can exchange files. Especially from our side to yours. So if you need extra information, I'm always update information there. So even the marketing resources, like I create a flyer, I put it there, okay? And usually we have one account per distributor. Not all, each one of you will have one account because it's managed by one of you from your company, Libreria, who can then share, the information. I hope I was clear.
Ok, Silvia. En el fondo ella está diciendo que en el Eli Cloud, digamos, están todos los materiales como de marketing, brochure, para hacer pendones, hacer roller, como presentaciones comerciales y eso en el fondo se lo voy a compartir a usted y usted a su
Okay.
porque
Okay,
es
so
una cuenta por YouTube.
it could be interesting later, no, to exchange a material. I'll be faster, but I wanted to give you the overview on our courses. And the first slide is actually about is a sort of early publishing style ID. I know you also promote MM and OUP, so we are different. I think we have different niche that we can explore. Well, OUP hasn't got a niche; they got an empire, I think. But I think we can find our stream, I think, in the market. Definitely, our production is usually very, very graded. In our courses, it's not common to find like a big jump of level, very challenging courses. For example, yeah, well, okay. So we usually have a follow very graded learning approach, a very graded language presentation. Usually our series are based on a spiral methodology. So we recycle constantly, we review constantly what learn throughout the unit in several ways. So we follow, of course, the common European frameworks, the levels grade, framed by the CEFR, so A1, A2, etc. Sorry. But our way of doing it is really graded. They try our courses try to follow a more natural learning process as well. At the same time, they're also very, very easy to approach, easy to navigate. So first of all, you can approach very easily the digital combination plus the physical, the printed version together, or you can use one and not the others. And teacher's guide are always very, very easy to navigate. They are very rich in information, in content, in support, in methodological notes for teachers. All of them. This is quite our standard, let's say. I think they're really a precious support to teachers. And then we started a few years ago by trying to be very adequate, very close to inclusion all around. So DEI, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion, is a concept which means in practical terms means try, for example, to include stories and characters where women and men are equal in terms of number of characters, for example, that where we include every possible countries, people coming from different countries without any differentiation, or we include also,
Silvia,
see?
just one second. Yes.
Sí, acá veo que dice Agenda 2030. Viste que acá en Paraguay estamos con ese problema.
Sí.
¿Qué te refieres más o menos de qué habla la Agenda 2030 cuando habla de sustentable ahí? Para que podamos explicar.
Ok, voy a hacer un resumen antes. Just one second, Silvia.
Sí.
Ok, entonces, ellos se orientan a todos los materiales que hacen a lectura y todo trabajo graduado, ¿sí? Todo lectura graduada. Es como la espiral, que se van haciendo y se van haciendo la revisión de vuelta con lo mismo, y entonces para ahí. Se usan sí o sí el marco común europeo, que normalmente en inglés son las siglas de A1 hasta C1, que es nivel avanzado, ¿sí? Tiene un proceso natural de aprendizaje, está rico en información, en apoyo y metodología también, ¿sí? Y incluyeron hace algunos años, justamente comenzó a hablar de eso, el tema de la diversidad de género. Y ahora sí lo voy a aplicar. Le voy a pedir.
Que lo explique bien, porque
Ok.
también nosotros tenemos.
Ok.
Sí, shall I go on?
There is, yes. Would you explain us like a little bit slower about the 2030 agenda, please?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
2030 agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals, they were created a few years ago by UN, the United Nations organizations, and there are 17 goals. For example, gender equality, respect the ocean, respect the environment, or no hunger, zero hunger, or for example, instructions for everyone, education for everybody. So lots of goals, wishful, in order to develop these positive, concepts also in schools, also through courses. This means that there are some lessons dedicated, for example, to the climate change, for example, to make it sensitive a little bit, or to respect, not to pollute, for example, the ocean. So it means
Silvia,
that.
I do apologize. Vos querés
No,
irte directo a lo
no
de
problem.
género, porque ella está explicando, por ejemplo, viste que el tema de la agenda es sustentabilidad, el clima, el cambio climático, pero acá en Paraguay el tema del género es
Educación para todos.
Entonces,
Ok, entonces ahí nomás le voy a
yo
preguntar
quiero
que
saber si al ver el logo, si
Sí.
de repente en alguna parte nosotros utilizamos este logo, nos
Sí.
van a preguntar.
sí.
Y acá mucha gente está con ese temor de la Agenda 2030. Entonces yo quiero saber la ideología de género, cómo trabajan en este material. Si hay algo
Así
que
explícito.
explícito
O sea,
o implícito.
Sabemos perfectamente lo que queremos preguntar.
Sí.
Tema de-
I will go straight to the point on the
Yes.
2030. We are not really worried about the sustainability or the climate, but about the gender, especially in Paraguay. And when we had this logo 2030, we would like to know how far do we go with this kind of gender. If we're gonna see something like we're in our country, because we are very close in this kind of scene, male and female, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
especially in all the grades from the school.
Yes, no, it won't be so. I think I understood what you mean. It won't be so aggressive. When I say, for example, gender equality, I mean that maybe we dedicate one unit to very important women who changed the world, maybe some artist or a scientist, for example, but women, okay? We're not talking about We don't want to talk about, gender in terms of sexuality, but only about, historical facts or presence in culture. Okay?
Just one second.
Sí.
Just one second. Ok, ellos no están siendo, se entendió la parte de agresivo en ese sentido. Lo que hacen es poner un término, por ejemplo, una mujer, como le digo en broma a Clary, la mujer empoderada, Carmen Cos, ¿verdad? Y ponerle como ejemplo a ella que revolucionó y cambió el mundo.
Y en el fondo es, pues, generan una actividad en una unidad como para potenciar, digamos, la importancia de las mujeres a nivel mundial.
Sí, pero no habla específicamente de sexualidad, así en ese caso
No.
no habla.
No.
Okay, please go on. Please go on.
Okay, so I hope this point is clear, because it's more linked to presenting text about cultural facts or cultural people. Okay.
Sobre temas culturales
Sí.
que sobre temas.
Sí,
Yeah, okay.
nothing to do with sex or sexuality or gender with that meaning. It's not our thing. It's not in education. It's not in our series. We never
No
mention
sexualidad,
that.
no género, nada de eso. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Silvia. Yeah.
Okay. Then the other point, of course, is that we have got a very important and nice and prepared crew of authors, and who are teachers or have been teaching so far. So they write, if from teachers to teachers, and there's always a very direct students connection in classroom, in school experience, which I think you can actually notice when a teacher use one of our series or one of our courses. And last but not least, as I showed you before, a very truly simple to access digital support where you can have everything together. I didn't mention before the app, this ELi link, if I manage to move this thing. Yeah. ELi link is our application for students, and it includes multimedia files, audio and video sometimes, accessible from the smartphone. So it's thought is meant to be for students, okay, not for teachers. Usually teachers, if they use it, it's because they want to share in classroom, but they actually use the digital book, so it's because it includes everything. But the students, if we on the go can listen to something, can watch a video while, I don't know, while she or he is on the bus, for example. It's a very good app. Okay.
Okay, please, one second.
Sí.
No, el tema, además, digamos, de la plataforma, tiene una app, que la app está dirigida a los estudiantes, donde los estudiantes en el fondo pueden consultar, van a tener los audios, van a tener acceso a los materiales, y en el fondo se puede hacer solo a través de un smartphone, y uno, Emilce ya lo probó el otro día, uno abre una página, le saca una foto y te dice... te trae todo el material de esa foto, digamos, y está dirigido el tema a los estudiantes más que a los profesores, porque los profesores tienen todo en su plataforma. Eso.
Have you got any questions so far?
¿Está bien?
Sí. Yes, no, not yet.
Okay.
¿Tiene
So-
alguna pregunta?
Okay, yes, you can go on, Silvia.
Okay, so I wanted to show you, so these are our complete teaching solutions regarding the school sectors. You will be hearing something about a quick overview about Smart Start which is kindergarten, then the Story Garden, English Goals, and Ready for Planet English. We cover all the segments, of schools from pre-primary to upper secondary. I'm leaving out for today the last two ones, so English for special purposes, which is more for business English, and professional English, English for special purposes, and grade readers. We are very, as you know, we have a very long tradition in grade readers. We also won lots of awards with our readers. We always participate to the extensive reading foundations event, which is always every August. We usually win some prizes, and we also won the Eltons, which is the British ELT awards, for a particular series of grade readers. So in the future, should you want to know more, should you wish to know more, let me know, and I'll give you another presentation about this extra material.
Okay, so vamos
Sí.
a hablar solamente de los 4 primeros y de los otros 2 últimos no vamos a hablar. Okay, yes.
Okay, so Smart Start is a course book for pre-primary. it covers only pre-A1 level, of course, across the 3 volumes. It's for kids between 3 and 5 years old. We have got I think you will be interested more in the American edition. Of course, the American edition will have, the correct spelling, the correct phonics, sounds, listening. And this series is thought to be from 3 to 5 plus weekly teaching hours, so core material per week. Of course, it depends also on how much from the digital resources the teachers like to include, to add. The more you add, the more you can have, you can fill more hours because there are lots of components as well with this series. Maybe you want to translate or?
Yeah, when you said 3 or 5
Sí,
is 60 minutes, right?
sí,
Teaching
sí,
hours.
more or less, yeah,
Okay.
50, 55. Usually our hours are like 50, 55 minutes. So about,
Okay.
yes,
Cuando habla
more.
de 3 a 5 horas, es 3 a 5 horas reloj. Y tiene 3 niveles, comienza de uno que son los normales cuando es preprimaria, ¿verdad? Y depende de ustedes, tiene British y American también.
Sí.
Yes,
And
Silvia.
what's your average weekly teaching hour per
I
pre-primary?
should believe should be like 2
Sí,
or 3, 2 o 3 horas.
Okay,
2
okay,
hours.
2 or 3,
2 or
okay.
3 hours should be yeah.
Al entrar en la plataforma también te muestra cuál es el libro, que es el británico o el americano, así que la teacher tiene que manejar los libros.
See, when you get into the platform, you can see the difference between the British and American, right?
Yes, of course. There are two different digital
Yeah.
books on the same platform. Yes, we have got 2
Dos
versions,
diferentes,
of course. Yes,
Sí,
indeed.
diferentes libros.
Sí, sí. Claro,
Yes,
claro.
okay.
¿Y
Ok.
cuál es el que vamos a
American.
el americano?
El American.
Sí,
Okay,
sí.
sí, el American es más fácil de promocionar.
No,
Okay.
y acá se habla más
Sí, es por American y la cantidad de horas bajas. Okay, Silvia.
Okay. Then another important feature of this series are the values. So some teaching values that, through the course, through the units, we like to share with the pupils, the teachers share with the pupils. For example, respect the others, the usual rules that we try to teach to our kids when they're very little ones. So collaborate, share your toy or share your, your pencil, for example, with your classmate. And all these come out of or through some comic stories, some storytelling as well. If we are welcoming a new mate, for example, how we welcome him or her. So all these, very familiar situation as well. And there are also pages dedicated to the real world settings. So we're talking about like cultural pages around the globe. And we are not only talking about speaking English country, but we're talking about the world. So we have, for example, I'm going to show you in a second a page from Mexico, for example, where we show how they live there compared to maybe the teachers can actually compare to where they live, the way they live in Paraguay, for example. It could become something very interesting. And there are lots of hands-on experiments and projects through the CLIL sections and the usually linked to art, science, mathematics, and social science as well. And usually kids are asked to make something with their hands, like to create something, to color, to illustrate, to draw, or actually make something with a glue and the paper, for example. And this series, as I said, can be very rich if the teachers want, because there are lots of extra components, the usual ones which are used, in this, I think, students' age, like flashcards and posters. But this series also comes with literacy and numeracy books. They're not compulsory, but teachers can decide to start teaching literacy and numeracy from the very first levels. If you look on the catalog on the website, you will find all the list of components for this series, and yes, you will realize even literacy and numeracy books. So this is an example of the opening page, very fresh and colorful, illustration, and we present the first set of vocabulary straight away. And the teachers stay here on this lesson quite a lot. It doesn't, he or she doesn't, stay for a few seconds, but stay a long time and then try to
Just 1
get.
second. Just 1 second, Silvia.
Sí.
Would you go back, please, one
Yes.
second? In
Sí.
the last. Okay.
¿Sí?
¿Quiere que le explique?
¿Cómo quiero
Sí,
decir?
ok.
Sí.
Lo importante de todo es que los valores resaltan mucho en cualquier actividad que hacen. En todas las actividades que hacen hay una historia que cuentan. Carlito se fue a lo de Pedrito, qué sé yo, y Pedrito
Situaciones
tiene un nuevo
familiares.
compañerito y le respeta al nuevo compañero. ¿Sí? Entran los valores, que es muy importante eso acá, como dijiste vos, Emi, hace rato, de destacar ese detalle. ¿Sí? Colaborar, respetar con el alumno. Hay situaciones familiares también que se representan en eso y páginas que hablan del mundo real. ¿Sí? Por ejemplo, en Paraguay la gente vive de esta manera, en México no es solamente, a diferencia de otros libros que se venden para preprimaria, que solamente muestra detalles así de dibujo, hay otras cositas también que muestran en este caso, comparar por ejemplo con otros países. En el tema de proyectos tiene la parte de CLIL, que es aprender otras materias por medio de ciencia, matemáticas, social, ¿verdad? También. Y la parte de flashcard, todos los elementos que tienen, que pueden entrar en la página para ver qué elementos tiene ese material. Tiene flashcard, tiene póster, tiene, como dice Literacy in Books Number, para comenzar o no a aprender o no las letras o los números también. Tiene todos esos elementos para trabajar.
Sí, de hecho, cada profesor va a recibir un set de recursos que son su flashcard y su póster para que pueda trabajar en su clase también.
¿Ese en el caso de que se usen los dos materiales o como recurso para el docente, sí o sí? Ya?
Para recursos para el docente, sí o sí, va a llevar un pack
kit.
de flashcard y de póster para los profesores. Lo otro ya está en la plataforma, pero el otro va a ser físico, flashcard y póster. Ok.
Ok,
Sí.
Silvia.
Yes. Flashcards and posters are available in digital and printed as well. Yes.
Las dos opciones también, pero van a llevar físico, como dice. Yes.
Okay, so this is an unit opener, and so we present here the first vocabulary set. And what's nice here that the series comes also at the back of the pupils book with the stickers. So students are asked here, for example, can you see here, to put the sticker? So through, visual association or visual discrimination, so they learn how to better observe the scene. They can't read, of course, the word bin now at this age, 3 years old or 4 years old, but they can associate visually, the stickers with the image here. And on each page, almost on each page of this series, you will find reference to chants and songs and reference to the digital book, because this page is also present in the digital format, and to the activity book as well. This is another page, for example, but yes.
I was thinking to go over it with you at the same time. It's gonna be like a little bit easier to understand for them.
Yes.
Primero la parte de todo el vocabulario que tiene abajo. Segundo, tienen stickers también que van relacionándose con los chicos no pueden leer, pero al mirar el cosito que dice ese que es basurerito, entonces después ya comienzan a relacionar. Entonces al final del libro están los stickers para completar todo eso. Sí.
Okay, this is
Yes.
another example of a unit opener. And this is the story I mentioned you before with the value. This is about welcoming a new and different, as you can see, a foreigner. This green character is different from the other kids, and here the story to welcome him. And this is just one part, then the rest. And there's also audio and chants, where pupils are asked to repeat. And always, we try to always to present a familiar context, like the classroom, like the school, so that the pupils can actually find themselves in a positive learning environment as well, that they recognize, and so try to feel safe and learn the language while they're learning the language.
Entonces lo importante es que como comienza con una historia que está relacionada con todos los chicos, que todos los días pasan eso, y es como una historia relacionada con ellos, entonces ellos se sienten bien cómodos para aprender, que es lo importante de una clase, ¿verdad? Y siempre la parte la parte de todo lo que se va a dar, siempre va a estar abajo, y después en la parte de los profesores, ellos enseñan cómo hacer todos los procedimientos dentro de las clases. Ahí vas a usar tu flashcard, vas a usar todos tus elementos para hacer estos trabajos.
Y ahí es donde se nota la diversidad.
Sí, exactamente, sí. En ese contexto
Sí,
nomás lo que
ya,
muestran.
perfecto.
Ok, Silvia.
Okay, this is another example about value and story. So this one is not about diversity, but is about sharing. Okay, usually pupils do not like to share their toy, their things. And here there's a who is it? I think it's the butterfly. She doesn't want to share the flower. So we try to find some natural, in this way, this case situation, to teach a positive value, which is learn to share, basically, no?
Ok, y acá la parte de que, viste que los chicos, los que tienen hijitos chiquititos, como Clary, saben que a veces no quieren compartir sus cosas. No, esto es mío, esto es mío. Entonces, por medio de los animales, ver cómo engancharle con eso y también que es importante compartir. Ahí, por ejemplo, se enseña uno de los valores, que es compartir. Sí, yes, Silvia.
Okay. And below, remember here below, there's always some extra tip on how to talk about the picture, for example, how to use this lesson, how to teach this lesson in classroom.
Y abajo te tienen todas otras formas de cómo hacer el manejo de tus clases. O sea que puedes hacer múltiples formas para que tus clases sean súper interactivas y súper...
Le da las herramientas al docente para poder que él elija cómo
Exactamente,
trabajar.
así mismo, así mismo.
Okay.
Yes, Silvia.
Y además
Okay.
está la guía del profesor y abajo están como los puntos relevantes como para no olvidar ciertas cosas.
Bien
Ya tú-
descriptivo,
claro.
¿verdad? Para que ellos vean y después transmitan su...
Lo más fácil.
Viene con un papel.
Clarita is asking if we had a puppet here or not.
No, we
No, okay.
no, we were not making any puppets anymore because yes, because they all got lost during the the delivery, etc. So we're not creating a puppet anymore.
Okay, fine.
Sorry.
No
Okay.
worry. Sucedieron cosas inesperadas ahí por el camino, eso los perros robaban el papi. Eso es lo que me explicó ahora rápidamente, ¿verdad? Okay, Silvia, I understood what you said.
Okay, this is about as I mentioned to you, the project. So CLIL project, usually focusing on art or science or mathematics or social sciences. When I say social science, social studies, sorry, for example, physical PE, no? So is a gymnastic, let's say, or for example, some lessons about, oh, here is how to draw the teacher, or in other things, there are a couple of illustrations asking, how do you wash your teeth, for example, how many times? These are the social studies. Or do you wash your hands anytime you eat, for example? Okay, so they are always try to give positive examples and positive meanings while teaching the language, of course, even in a funny way, even in involving experiments or projects or creation, I mean, arts and craft as well.
Todo está estructurado, no es que así nomás se hacen estas cosas y vamos a hacer un dibujito para los chicos. Todo está bien pensado, calculado. De esta manera hacemos, ¿por qué te cepillas los dientes? ¿Por qué hace esto? ¿Puede dibujarle al profesor? Todo siempre orientado a algo. En este caso es el proyecto de arte, que es el que a mí me encanta la foto que es súper súper nítida también. Silvia.
Okay. Okay, this is the page I mentioned to you, is the culture, the real world page. So it's a double. This is just a single page, but it's usually double spread, where we show there's also a video and some activities linked to this. This is a kid from Mexico City, for example, and then there are a few things which are asked, like for example, below the teachers can provide a little bit of scaffolding. For example, today it's a sunny day here in Mexico. This pupil is in the kindergarten, for example, in the playground, etc. Giving some scaffolding on from a different country, of people living in different countries.
Entonces, just one second, Silvia. Esto, por ejemplo, como profesor, yo le digo, esto ya puedo usar como proyecto, porque vos mostrás ahí en México cómo están esto de aquello, después poner una foto de lo que es Paraguay, poner una foto de Brasil, y eso ya puede ser un proyecto para después. O sea, que hay un montón de cosas que se pueden hacer. Y debajo las palabras que se van aprendiendo, ¿sí? Park, trees, flower, sky, butterfly, blue, un montón de palabras que te guían para ver cómo manejar la clase. Just one second, alguna
Sí.
preguntita hasta ahora.
Sí.
Esas palabras. En mi diccionario y Silvia.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you properly.
Yes, you can go on, please.
Okay. Yes. Here I just listed a few competitors. I don't know if there are competitors in your country, but you will find this slide when I will be sending to you this presentation for your archive.
You will. Okay.
Yes, I
Cheers.
will. Of course.
Okay.
And I'm going very quickly because otherwise we will never stop this afternoon because I've got 3 other courses. You will read about these once you receive the presentation. I've got here like a sort of summary of what we have said so far. This is something which could be very useful for you, like promoting Smart Start in 6 points, and these are the main 6 unique selling points, for example. But you will read, when you receive the presentation, if you don't mind, because I think otherwise, I don't want you to fall asleep in a half an
No,
hour.
what we're gonna do, Silvia, is I'm gonna go right after you, and we're gonna go together, okay?
Yes.
Ok, entonces estos son algunos puntos interesantes para tener en cuenta. ¿Cuáles son los valores que tiene mi libro Smart Start? Esos son los valores. Después le vamos a nosotros a transcribir en español, eso sí.
Pero en el fondo tiene una estructura flexible, digamos, para estudiantes iniciales de 3 a 5 años, está basado en valores, tiene elementos contextuales del mundo real, tiene proyectos de manipulables, de manos a las obras, digamos, que lo integra con otras áreas, matemáticas, ciencias, social study, estudios sociales, etcétera, y que da la base para también la adquisición de la lectura y de la numeración para que tengan un futuro exitoso, digamos. Y que en el fondo su enfoque es enganchar a los estudiantes a través de distintos elementos multisensoriales. Por eso el tema de los proyectos arriba.
Así mismo.
O sea, en el fondo estos son como tus puntos de venta, digamos. ¿Sí?
Su punto a favor. Yes, Silvia.
Okay. Okay, and even here, my colleague asked my colleague to make a sort of like analysis so that it could be useful for the sales team when approaching customers or visiting schools or visiting teachers. And again, because I didn't go through all this each point, I just wanted to show you guys. So there are some comments, some benefits about what we have and what the others don't. It's just a description which I invite you to study when or if you will be going to visit schools, promoting this series. We got 2 like this one as well.
Cuando promocionamos la serie, vamos a tener
Sí.
todos estos elementos para saber qué le podemos decir al teacher cuando el teacher te no, pero el papá tal cosa, no, pero tengo esto para el papá, no, pero que no tiene valores, tenemos estos valores, no, pero no tiene flashcard, tenemos
Sí,
flashcard. Entonces,
sí,
estos elementos que
sí.
sirven para...
It's very specific. I don't think now
Yes.
we should go because it's too much, but it
Yeah.
can be very useful once you decided to promote the series. Could be really useful. These 2 tables I've just showed you, they can really, I think, help the sales team.
Yeah, just for example, flashcard, 3-pack, 330.
Sí,
Tenemos
sí.
330 flashcards para eso. O sea que tratar de impresionar por esos lados. Estos son los elementos de venta. Yes, Silvia.
Okay, great. Okay, so now we change and we go to the primary level by introducing you to our beautiful series, which is a story garden. The cover on your right, the orange one, is the American edition. We first published the English edition, the British edition, and then we decided to go on with the American edition because it has been and it still is a popular series. It consists of 6 volumes.
Right.
And from a pre-A1 to A2 plus level is for primary kids.
A1
¿Sí?
a 2.
Plus, a little bit, yes.
Y tiene 6 grados. Tiene
6 grados
seis
y
libros.
el naranjadito va a ser el
American English.
And this is
Okay,
American
sí.
English, yes, with the spelling, with the
Yes.
audio as well, yes, with a specific digital book as well. Some features. The Story Garden, as you can see from the title, is actually based on the storytelling, which is, of course, a very powerful methodology, very adequate to this pupil's age, to this student's age, so primary, from 6 to 11, 12 years old. And we include each unit is about a popular fairy tale, like, for example, the Bremen Band, Alice in Wonderland, or the Gulliver's Travels, all these very common, very popular, very traditional stories. We decided to, of course, to adapt the stories, to just use some characters, to introduce the vocabulary, to introduce the grammars, for example. And again, because we wanted to create a very positive and familiar learning environment where maybe pupils are used to listen to some stories, for example, told by the parents, for example, the grannies. And we thought this could be a very good methodology to be applied in a course book, and actually it's been very successful with this series. Even this course book gives from 3 to 5 weekly teaching hours, 5 when we include everything, and I mean all the extra resources from the digital book as well. And again, even this one, this series is very step by step. So it's very graded, there's lots of repetition and reinforcement. And one important key aspect of this series is the Easy English part. Easy English is a sort of facilitated easy version of what explained in the unit. It's an easy version for students who have some difficulties, some learning disorders, who has educational needs. So instead, for example, of putting in a list some questions, maybe there are some visuals. So there are some images and they have to recognize the word, for example, which is easier for someone who has some educational needs. So it's a simplified content, actually, it's written here. Yes, it's very simplified content, and it's very inclusive because it's within the course book. It's not a separate booklet, for example. And behind the logic of the story garden, also there's an important character who used to be a puppet, and then we decided not to produce him anymore, who is Mr. Gardener. He's a gardener, Mr. Green, sorry, who is the gardener of this garden. The garden is ideally where pupils, well, we put the seed, in these pupils who will become adults one day. And Mr. Green is the gardener of this classroom, let's say, of this, garden of flowers. Flowers should be like the pupils. And Mr. Green always teaches soft skills or global competencies like collaboration, creativity, communication, critical thinking, and all these, positive values, again, also linked to the sustainable development goals, for example, respect, where you live, respect the country where you live or the environment. They're always more or less the same at this student's age, of course. And we have got a very rich and complete digital teaching package, because everything I showed you for English goals before on the digital platform is very similar what we offer for the Story Garden. The Story Garden offers lots of resources, of extra tests as well, downloadable from the digital book, extra activities, and PDF for teachers, etc., etc.
Ok, entonces todo esto, así como lo otro, también se basa en el poder de las historias, y contar historia, contar historias. El tema de contar historia comenzó ya con los profesores de inglés hace mucho tiempo, ahora va todo muy masivo con el tema de TikTok y demás. Son historias adaptadas y son súper conocidas. Por ejemplo, Alicia en el País de la Maravilla, que se adapta para introducir gramática y para introducir vocabulario, ¿verdad? Son historias positivas que refuerzan esa parte del positivismo. Por ejemplo, se piensa en la historia que se hace pensando que el abuelito va a estar leyendo con la nieta o con el nieto. Entonces, en base a eso, esa historia para agarrar esa parte positiva del aprendizaje. Es un inglés súper, súper fácil por la cantidad de horas que tiene, lo es súper fácil y súper proyectado a esa gente que no quiere aprender o no puede aprender inglés. ¿Sí? Entonces,
Por
¿verdad?
refuerzo y por repetición.
Exacto, por eso es que, justamente ahí está el tema, por refuerzo, repetición y espiral, para continuar. Y la parte de soft skill, que son lo que dijimos, de colaboración, creatividad, comunicación, pensamiento crítico en cada lección, ¿sí? Y lo que ya hablamos al comienzo, el libro interactivo, que tiene todos los elementos ahí.
Y tiene un personaje que es el Mr. Green, que es el señor verde, que es el jardinero, que es como el espíritu de toda la serie, ¿verdad? Que va repartiendo semillas, y toda la metáfora de que los niños se desarrollan y llegan a florecer, etc.
Así mismo.
Y otro tips importante ahí tiene que ver con que en el fondo es para todos los estudiantes con un inglés fácil,
Sí.
y que está pensado para niños que tienen dificultades en el aprendizaje. para chicos que tienen necesidades educativas especiales, ¿no? Entonces, ese punto es relevante porque les van a decir, yo tengo niños con, ahora se habla, digamos, de
HTH,
no, sí, ya,
no, siglo te van a
tengo con
poner.
adecuaciones, que son neurodivergentes, y
Sí.
el programa está diseñado para chicos que tienen necesidades especiales.
Sí.
Perfecto.
Ok.
O sea que tendría alguna actividad
Sí, de hecho tiene,
específica para
y también incluyen los test, incluyen actividades extras, y como están graduados, está pensado en estos chicos que tienen algunas dificultades también.
Yes, Silvia.
Okay. And so this is the example of uni opening section. And this is, for example, about the Bremen band. So again, there are beautiful illustrations, very colorful. And we just take, we take advantage of the fairy tale to introduce, for example, here, the world of animals, as you can see. So on the right, you can see the first presentation of vocabulary set through images, and here there's the audio straight away, and then the link to the digital book, if they want to complete this digitally. And again, the digital book is a big support to pupils who have some learning disorders, for example, because visually the PC helps better than a printed copy in terms of also of colors and etc.
Tienen acceso al libro digital, tienen acceso al audio. Comienza con una historia súper colorida, súper creativa, y ahí se va relacionado con todo lo que es el vocabulario.
Okay, and these are examples of the easy English pages I mentioned to you. So animals were presented through a comic story, through the unit opening, and they're also here presented through sort of tables, which are much clearer to pupils with some learning disorders or educational needs. And very, very important. I'm really keen on this component because I think that we are the only one producing it. And this is the lab book. Okay, the lab book is an extra component, which is packed, I think, which is packed within the student's book. And it includes, okay, to lab means, to bend, to make something, to create. So lab books is you put together each unit that the pupils face, in the student's book, in the pupil's book. And so it's a way to revise, what to learn throughout the units, but by making something, by using the motor skills, by art and crafts. So, for example, here they have, for example, to make, so to build this sort of box, for example, using the glue, cutting and paste, all these things. So it requires different learning intelligences, I would say. And it's a big support to teachers because it can be used to revise for, let's say, students who are a little bit faster than the others, but at the same time can be used to learn about the topic, about the vocabulary for students who have some difficulties. And it's a key product. It's very popular, and I think it's really appreciated by teachers.
Ok, esta es una cosa que los demás, de acuerdo a lo que nos está diciendo ella, yo en realidad no he visto en otras series, tiene dentro del libro, ya viene dentro del libro este paquete que se llama Lab Book. ¿Sí?
Viene como pack, viene el libro con el lab book.
Así
Sí.
ya viene completito. ¿Sí? Entonces, estos elementos son súper importantes para lo que dijo Rodrigo, porque te ayuda a los chicos que tienen habilidades diferentes o especiales, les ayuda a aprender. Y a los chicos que se van avanzados, les ayuda a registrar mejor lo que están haciendo. Entonces, a fijar mejor la información. Entonces, es un elemento que sirve muchísimo para los profesores y para los alumnos también en todo el trabajo que hacen.
Y en el fondo trabaja manualidades y trabaja elementos de...
And it's also very appreciated by...
Sí, es que en el fondo Mari puede hacerlo de manera manual y se me va a
Sería como una cajita que tiene que armar ahí.
Exactamente.
motor skills.
Sí.
Motricidad.
Ayuda a la motricidad también a los chicos.
Sí, pero...
Okay.
Sí, Silvia.
And it's also appreciated by parents. Oh, sorry.
Y también los padres
Yes.
aprecian mucho este detalle.
Because they sometimes do things together, for example, in the afternoon, in the evening, when they can. for example.
Un día de los padres, entonces van a hacer trabajo con los chicos. ¿Verdad? Eso ya. Yes, Silvia.
Okay, so here on the other side, you can find, so on the left side, the life skills pages is something very important. I mentioned to you before. This is Mr. Green. It's a little bit tiny here, but
Ya,
Mr.
también
Green,
vi que dijo, claro,
or even
el
here
señor
is,
verde.
sì, Signor Verde, is
Mhm.
throughout each unit in the CLIL pages, here where there are the comic strips pages, and in the life skills pages. And every time is there because he's teaching something, but not in a, in a pedantic way. It's very
Yeah,
nice.
like never give up. Yeah, that's
Yes, for
nice.
example,
That's a greatness.
exactly. Or for
Yeah.
example, here about CLIL, this is a lesson about food and nutrition. And here he says, I like fruit, for example. Of course, kids usually just eat bananas, for example. But he's trying to teach, that fruit is very healthy, etc. Or here, he's teaching to say sorry, please, thank you. So good manners, okay?
Porque todo lo que habíamos conversado hace rato de buena manera, buenos tratos,
Sí.
buena alimentación, nutrición y todo lo demás. Sí, Silvia, yes.
Okay, and here, yes, this is a little bit of summary about the digital tools and the digital resources. So as I said, there's a code to access the digital books. There are lots of interactive activities and songs, chants, music, and there are all the videos together. There are tools to make, this series very inclusive. And yeah, I'm a little bit repeating what I said before about the audio material is also available through ELi Link app, so pupils can listen or watch the videos, possibly with a parent, for example, at home, if they got, if we got free time, because we never have free time, but it could be something they can do together because it's through an app, so through the smartphone of the parent, for example. The TB, the teacher's book, is always can be downloaded for free from the digital book in a PDF format. And posters and flashcards are also available in a PDF, in a digital format and in printed, okay? Just like Smart Start. And again, this could be, I think, a good point to mention because not everyone provide these components in both formats. And there are, last but not least, some tests about young learners examinations, which can be downloaded for free from the website, just as an extra, like an add-on.
O sea que todos los elementos digitales que ya nos estaba comentando hace rato, yo le voy a destacar lo principal para mí abajo, es el test que pueden bajar online. Eso es
Sí.
un determinante para los profesores que siempre te piden.
Sí.
Y que cuando hablaban de que pueden completar sus exámenes, el profesor ELi, ellos hacen en forma escrita o hacen online su examen.
Pueden hacerlo de las dos maneras,
De las dos.
porque se puede imprimir
Ah,
y lo pueden hacer de manera digital, los chicos.
ok. Sí.
El alumno puede completar el envío.
Sí.
Él puede crear su clase, eso es lo que dijo.
Y también son
Inclusive,
imprimibles.
inclusive si se
También son
enferma,
imprimibles.
si se enferma algún alumno, igual puede entrar en su plataforma, el
Es como
alumno
uno, ¿no?
puede continuar la clase y puede completar el
¿Se
envío.
para todos los niveles?
Sí.
Eso no. Entonces.
Okay.
Yes, Silvia.
Okay, so a list of competitors. Again, I don't know if they are real competitor in your country, but these are the main ones to these students' age, this sector.
Partemos.
Good?
La competencia. A ver,
Pop Tropical
Pierce,
y Richmond.
Richmond, Macmillan, Cambridge.
Yeah.
Sí, esos libros también hay acá en Paraguay. Ahora están aquí Kids
Sí.
Bill, Good Kids.
Ahora
y
un
Go.
mucho
Sí.
Sí.
Otro en vigencia.
Okay. And again, when I'm going to send this to you, you will be able to find specific point to help you, okay, during the school visit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Los mismos elementos que hace rato,
Sí.
pero para este material, ¿sí?
Okay. Now we jump to another sector, and this is a lower secondary or middle school with the English goals. English goal,
Tercer ciclo.
Tercer ciclo.
okay, is from pre-A1 to B1 level, and the series consists of 4 volumes. And this is the split edition, of course, which I think is more suitable to your curriculum, your teaching hours. And so for us, it's from 11, 12 years old up to 15 years old. And it's a traditional course book, but it's very focused on communication and on with an inclusive approach, even more than the Story Garden. And it's rich in videos. Videos are about communication and present the vocabulary. And it includes lots of the topics and the content of the reading texts is chosen carefully from real life because we wanted to give this real life approach. And again, for the logic of of try to make a possible familiar context to kids, to students, so that they can feel not at home, but at least, in a safe environment, in a little bit, yes, familiar situation where they can concentrate and then teach the foreign language. Then English Goals includes from level third and fourth STEM lessons. They're really, really nice. And STEM, I think you know what they are for, what they stand for. They're becoming very popular. So they are linked, they present lessons something like CLIL basically, but specifically linked to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So there are always something to do with some of these subjects, a very specific project and experiment, which usually involve collaboration and a little bit of, confrontation between, or among, the students. Even here, we care about the diversity, equity, and inclusion, the 2030 agenda, in the sense that, again, when talking about, for example, home, so I think there's a unit called like home. We show different kind of homes. Not everyone has got exactly the same kind of house. So home for me can be like I live in a flat in a building. Another one can have a sort of villa. Another one can actually live across or along the boat on a boat along the river. Others can actually live in a sort of very modest sort of tent, but it's their culture. Okay, so we try to give a variety of how people live in real life. From, of course, we are not analyzing any social attitude. We are just presenting like the world outside is in reality. This is for us, the presentation also of the goal of equity and inclusion, so including every society, every countries. And important also in English Goals is that we added the mediation tasks. Mediation has become now a part of the Cambridge suit examinations. And I'll show you later a couple of examples. But it's something quite new, I would say. Not all the other competitors have got this focus. And then there's also, of course, a focus on Cambridge examinations throughout the unit. Activities which are modeled on the exam style are actually labeled clearly. Like, I don't know, cat, pet, for example.
Creo que ese es un valor muy importante que esté enfocado fuertemente en los exámenes de la Cambridge
Sí,
para la certificación.
Sí.
eso te iba,
Creo
te iba a
que es
decir
un valor muy
justamente.
interesante.
Porque siempre cuando comenzamos desde el tercero, la media, los profesores ya te dicen, ¿qué tienen para exámenes de Cambridge? Y esto está súper orientado a todos el PET, el QET, todos esos exámenes de Cambridge que tienen para cuando terminan el noveno grado, eso está súper orientado. También el tema de la mediación, que es un tema nuevo que están teniendo ellos, también aclaró el tema de la Agenda 2030 que marca acá, que dice que se muestran, por ejemplo, cómo viven las personas. Una persona vive en una casa modesta, una casa menos modesta, esto, aquello. Se analiza las actitudes sociales, no se analiza así en particular cómo viven adentro de la casa, sino de afuera, cómo están, ¿verdad?
Creo que hay muchas descripciones de las casas, cómo son las casas.
Exactamente.
Pequeñas,
Sí.
grandes,
Entonces, para que vos
grandes.
puedas visualizar e identificar cómo es, ¿verdad? No es que se va específicamente.
Y
Y la
otro-
parte cuando habló de STEM
Sí.
es que el otro es CLIL cuando se basa, aprender una cosa con otra materia diferente. Entonces, en este caso, STEM es el experto Rodrigo es de STEM, que se basa en ciencia, tecnología, ingeniería y matemática.
Ujú.
¿Sí? Entonces, está orientado a eso también.
En ciencias naturales se trabaja en nuestro programa de STEAM.
Y de hecho está súper en boga el tema de que tenga actividades de STEM y ese tipo de cosas. Y en los workbooks vienen actividades diseñadas específicamente para STEM. Ya,
Yes, Silvia.
Okay. Okay, this is an example of, again, a beginning of a unit, school life. So showing different kind of, schools, as you can see, classes that they're very different one from the others. And we're showing also through video afterwards, an example from a classroom, I think from Scotland. And then there are comparison questions about how to compare with your classroom, for example. There's always a first visual approach when opening the unit. I said at the beginning that it's a very communicative course book. Yes, so teachers here, for example, introduce the topic, school life. They can already start, saying something about school life in general and try to predict what refers to this picture or what to this one, or what they're doing here or here, for example. And then here they got, the vocabulary, the proper scaffolding, the proper vocabulary that is recycled all throughout, these lessons. And reference here to the last part of the book. Sorry, one thing I wanted to say. This is one talk about it. With the upper levels, like we try also with the lower level, but with the upper level from here onwards in our series, we always try to include personalization activities where the student is asked to say something about his personal experience. This way, it's easier for the students to practice English. They never want to communicate in English. They never want to communicate in a foreign language. Someone is shy, someone don't want to expose to the other mates in classroom. But sometimes when I have to talk about something close to them, which is part of their everyday life, they find it a little bit easier to say at least 2 or 3 words if it refers to them, their lives. And this is something really important you will find throughout, this series. And the last part here is a reference to simple goals. Simple goals is a simplified version of the entire unit put at the end of the student's book. So it's even more into depth than you saw in the story garden. Of course, here we are in middle school, we have more pages, units are longer, but there are much more activities. And we have dedicated simplified version, simplified units, but again, within the same student's book. So we added extra pages at the back because we just thought it was important and inclusive as well.
Ok, entonces, primero que nada, esto está en un enfoque de comunicación, mucha comunicación, orientada a la comunicación, ¿sí? Por eso dice, lo primero que hacemos como profesor, comenzamos a interactuar. ¿Cómo ven la clase ahí? ¿Cómo podemos comparar con nuestra clase? Nos fijamos en las palabras donde dice focus word, después vemos el video, después hacemos un trabajo en par en donde se le orienta al chico o a la chica para que pueda hablar y para que pueda interactuar, porque a veces no queremos ni decir 2 o 3 palabras en inglés porque tenemos vergüenza, ¿verdad? Y finalmente, es donde dice simple goals, que es una parte donde simplifica todo otra vez y le hace mucho más fácil al alumno para que pueda introducirse en el campo de la comunicación del inglés, ¿sí?
La estructura siempre es la misma.
Exactamente. Si se fijan las estructuras, muy genial. Todo sigue la misma estructura. Comenzamos de preprimaria, seguimos la mismísima estructura para arriba porque son 4 materiales que se eligieron para lo mismo, ¿verdad? Para que continúe de pie a cabeza. Yes, Silvia.
Okay. Okay, this is another example of another very communicative page. So it's called actually the dialogue work is a second lesson after the first unit opening. And is also included other videos you can see here, focus on dialogues. Here, usually there are some interviews or teens who are talking about the same topic, like schools. So here you go, this is I think a cookery classroom. This one is about 2 kids showing the library within the school. So we are always recycling, of course, the same topic and the vocabulary, maybe introducing some extra new words step by step. And what's important is that here the characters are exactly the same age of the students, using this book. Of course, these videos are we can say semi-authentic because they've been graded a little bit in terms of language, but the stories are real, are true, are authentic. Okay, it's just the language which was, of course, a little bit graded for these to this level, and we got different and lots of boxes and rubrics everywhere, like focusing on communication here, giving some suggestions on how to. I always call these, chunks of language scaffolding because they can be used, when practicing the activities, when communicating. They're there, and these systematic boxes are really useless. Sorry, sorry, useful. Or there are other boxes with a table of the grammar rule presented here. And then even before there was another box, and then there's also another dedicated double spread dedicated only to grammar explanations and grammar rules. And again, here, as you can see, there's a talk about it through a role play. There's always like an ending activity which involves usually collaborative activities and a personalized activities. So talking yourself about this thing.
Ok, entonces siempre como se fijan está orientada al diálogo, todo el diálogo, diálogo,
Sí.
diálogo.
Yo
Lo
creo
importante,
que tiene,
sí,
tiene relación al video que será todo cierto del
te recordás el video que, sí, justamente, exactamente, el karaoke que vimos en el bar. Y eso justamente estaba comentando que podría considerarse que sus historias son bastante reales dentro de lo que se considera una historia. Pues esa es una historia real, pero obviamente tienen que adaptar para el tema vocabulario y gramática, ¿verdad? Por ese lado, pero tratan de que sea lo más realístico posible, ¿verdad? Y
Sí.
después también, donde hay sugerencias, por ejemplo, de dar una respuesta. Cuando yo tengo miedo de responder como alumno, entonces ahí hay algunas sugerencias que me van guiando para eso. Y finalmente también el roleplay, que cada uno comienza a decir yo esto, yo aquello, yo hice, entonces como que se siente más libre y más seguro de hablar, que es nuestro objetivo, ¿verdad? Finalmente. ¿Sí? ¿Iba a preguntar? No, ok. Silvia.
Okay. Okay, this is the grammar workshops page that I mentioned to you. So grammar explanations through tables, attention box with the most common mistakes. And here, can you see here? There's just
Yeah.
one rectangle highlighted, colored. Here two. Well, here two again, and one here two, here one. Well, it means that there are graded activities, okay? This one is easy. This one is a little bit more complex, okay? It's a sort of
Bueno, ahora verdecito, dos verdecitos está más oscurecido, o dos verdecitos significa que son más complicaditas las tareas.
yes.
Eso le guía ya al profesor para,
Son tareas graduadas.
sí, tareas graduadas.
Para el alumno.
Exactamente.
Y para eso es, tal como conversábamos, digamos, quizá hay algunos chicos que van a poder hacer las que tienen solamente un rectángulo
Sí.
pintado y los otros van a poder hacer todo.
Yes, Silvia.
Okay. And there also reference to more explanation about grammar in the grammar bank.
La parte
Okay.
gramática que sí o sí le
Sí.
explica aparte. Yep.
Okay, here is another page. As you can see, is another lesson with videos again. This is something about is a video workshop, and then there's also the page dedicated to life and language skills. So video again about the same topic, but from different perspectives. And here is more like a fun activity as well. And here, of course, we have already faced the vocabulary linked to schools and the environment. So the kids here are now called, to present themselves, also to talk about, more themselves, in classroom in front of the others as well. And here we present more new words as well, so that they can, start using a little bit more complex vocabulary management, let's say. What I wanted to underline here is that we got another video. So it's really rich in videos, and usually videos are really, well, we know that, that they're very appreciated, and they're really good for, to reinforce listening and pronunciation skills as well. And from time to time, we also launch, this idea in our courses to ask the students to make their own videos. Nowadays, so easy with them. And it could be something done easily in classroom, of course, under the control of teachers, of course.
De acuerdo a cómo le permitan en los colegios, hay veces que permiten no usar el teléfono, ¿verdad? Para hacer tu propio video y qué sé yo, como que te sientas más libre de hacer las cosas. Normalmente los videos lo que hacen es reforzar el tema del lenguaje, ¿verdad? Porque no son videos que se hacen al azar, son videos que se hacen estructuradamente para algo específico que es. Yes, Silvia.
Okay. And this is a STEM lesson that I wanted to show you. Okay, this is the introductory page, the one on the left, but on the right, this is something about, science, as you can see. So there's a description about this skeleton, and all the differences and all the meanings. And then there's also some curiosity, and also they are asked to make some searches online as well. So this is just for you an example, but I think they look really nice and very colorful, and they look a little bit different compared to the rest of the series, or the rest, sorry, of the units, because they stand out as pages, because they actually are linked to another subject as well.
Yo creo que sí, esto es significativo para esta editorial en particular. Yo no llegué a ver estén en ningún otro material que promocionaste ahora. Es un valor agregado.
Ni vas a
Sí.
promocionar.
No, ustedes solitos no, yo no. Yes, sí, yeah.
Okay. Again, some main competitors according to what we know. Yes, and the same table. That once you decide to you want to start visiting teachers, I'm happy to share with you, and we can also have more further presentations. And
Okay.
yeah, this is the last course book.
But not least.
Yes, last but not least, this is our course book for upper secondary schools. So it's ready for Planet English. We got the split and the full edition, and it comes in 5 levels, again from foundations up to upper intermediate. So again from pre-A1 to B2, and it's for students from 15 onwards, I would say 14, 15 onwards. So you saw Smart Start, the Story Garden, English Goals, and then Ready for Planet English. If we could, in the same school they had all these students' age, we could fill in with these courses. And Ready for Planet. Yeah, that's a. Ooh. This is, I don't know if you could hear, but this is the video trailer I mentioned to you before. I showed you for English Goals on the website. For each course book, you will find this. There are video promotional video that you can share with your customer, and also for yourself to know the series a little bit. They last not even 2 minutes, so they're very fast, but they're really, I think, engaging.
Just one question,
Sí,
Silvia.
sí, sí.
At the split edition, we had like 1A, 1B,
Yes,
2A, 2B,
yes.
3A, 3B. So this Planet English, we can use it from, let's say, from 7 to upper
Yes,
class, like 14 to 18.
yes, exactly.
Entonces tiene la posibilidad también de este mismo material que no tiene split edition. Por ahí si a él le gusta el séptimo grado, le mete el séptimo hasta el tercero de la media sin problema.
Porque viene hasta nivel 4.
Sí.
Perfecto.
Y viene a nivel 5, pero como tiene el material separado, split, ahí tenés ya para completar los 6 niveles.
You got 10 books basically.
At the end of the day, yes. 10 tenés al final, pero con 6 podés completar. Puedes adecuar los niveles, también te dice, vos sabés que no, este no hay, y comenzamos del 2, no hay problema. El séptimo grado.
Podríamos decir que empezamos desde iniciar con el Smart
Sí,
y todos los temas van relacionados a graduados hasta llegar al nivel medio.
exactamente.
Perfecto.
Sí.
En el fondo tiene todo un hilo conductor.
Sí, exacto.
Yes, Silvia.
Okay. So these are the key elements, regarding this series. So 5 levels, we said. This offers about 70 to 90 teaching hours per year. Okay. Because it's not per week, because we have the split and full edition, and because it depends on the curricula, especially with a higher education, with a higher school. We thought about giving the number of hours per year. Then it depends on the number of lessons each courses include. There could be a short course a longer course, it depends.
Yeah.
And yeah.
70 a 90 horas por año para
Mm.
poder, después de poder explicar bien eso, para que no se, por el tema que tiene Split Edition y Edition Full. Yes, Silvia.
Okay, then you can read about the rest of the points. As you can see, we try to include the same approach with life skills development and global competencies. So, sustainable development goals, again, which you can see from the choice of the topics throughout the units. So, yes, we are talking also about weather, for example, and about climate, and then we are trying to approach this topic from different perspectives, and also including a link to the development goals, of the climate change, of climate sensitiveness, for example, with the 2030 agenda. This is a course book which is we call it international English because if you listen to the audio tracks, for example, you will hear a different accent of English. We are talking with Ready for Planet English, really a planet, because we are referring to English, to different kind of Englishes. So English can be, there are audio tracks, for example, from someone, it is an interview with someone talking in English from India. He's based in India. You can actually, it's a very, correct English, but you can feel the accent, or someone again from, I think, Peru. So you can spot different kind of English used in the world, in the globe. And this is because we wanted to give, yes, a global approach, because English is not only British, it doesn't only mean English speaking country, but it also means something that you learn because you want to study maybe abroad, or to be using English in a business situation, a business context where everyone has his own accent, for example. This is quite a key point, I think. And then the last one, but not least, again, is the Goalkeeper podcast. This is something extra. It's a free resource you can download from internet, from the website, and it includes ready-to-be-used lessons with answer keys only for teachers under the resource area, and the audio tracks is a podcast, but there are also lessons linked to the Sustainable Development Goals. Take a look. I'm sure you will find them very democratic and very open to culture, because they talk about culture and facts with these sustainable development goals. And again, there's not so many podcasts, I think, out there allocated to a course book. And I think this is quite a good point also to mention, because students love podcasts, but also teachers are starting loving and using them in classroom, just to give a little bit of variety to the lesson, and a little bit of, making their lesson a little bit more dynamic, instead of only or always teaching grammar rules, for example.
Yeah, okay.
Stop.
Ellos primero.
Todos los primeros puntos sí, ya son conocidos, pero sí quisiera que nos explique bien, porque va muy enfocado, ¿verdad?, al inglés internacional y también lo del tema del podcast. ¿Ese ellos pueden bajar las profes?
Sí, ok. El primer punto, voy a comenzar al revés de abajo del
Sí.
podcast. Les sugiero a ustedes que bajen a ustedes primero,
Sí.
antes de los profes, y que escuchen los materiales. Van a darse cuenta que lo que habla es normalmente del cambio climático en general, de mantener la tierra, sostenibilidad en general, el medio ambiente, todos esos temas no van a enfocarse en esos temas que a nosotros nos preocupa, es de género. Sí, eso es lo primero. Y, insisto, les sugirió a ustedes que puedan bajar y ver eso por un lado. Por otro lado, es interesante que haya un podcast, porque eso está súper actual,
Sí.
¿verdad? Y esto tampoco yo llegué a ver en otros materiales, esto es súper actual también, y también puede servir de gancho para los profesores, ¿sí? La otra pregunta tuya es lo que no entendí el otro.
No, viste que
El
habla
enfoque,
mucho del
el enfoque
enfoque
del inglés
del inglés
internacional.
internacional.
Ah, ok, perfecto. Yo le doy mi experiencia yo estoy hace 6 años en Books, y hace 6 años tuvimos un taller sobre lo que es el inglés internacional. El inglés internacional va a ser dentro de unos 5 años, todo ya va a ser inglés internacional. Si ustedes se fijan, ahora que se van a fijar en el tema de inglés, van a ver que hay materiales que dice inglés internacional, no dice British ni American.
Exacto.
¿Por qué? Porque ahora ya no existe más eso de viene un profesor de Gran Bretaña o de Estados Unidos. Ahora profesores vienen de todo el mundo. Bueno. Pero nosotros, ¿cómo podemos usar como parte positiva el inglés internacional? Porque finalmente el inglés es un inglés de negocio. Yo no puedo decir, yo voy a hablar con un americano nomás y viene Rodrigo que es de Chile y me habla inglés. Y voy a venir de Paraguay y me habla inglés y voy a venir de otro país y me habla inglés también. Entonces, por ese lado sí es. Este material en particular tiene esa distinción, por decirlo así, que es inglés internacional, ¿sí? Entonces, no sé si
Que puede ser un plus.
Y que
para,
tiene un
yo,
enfoque
sí,
más global. ¿No?
enfoquemos sí, enfoquemos como una fortaleza nosotros ese detalle, porque al final es una fortaleza. Yo no puedo decir como le digo, voy a reunirme y no porque vos sos de otro país, yo no te entiendo
Claro,
ni...
también te pregunto eso porque en el
Sí,
momento de promocionar tenemos que darle fuerza a todos
exactamente.
esa fortaleza o el plus que tienen
Sí,
que no tiene la competencia.
Y acá
exactamente.
puedes poner como tema internacional el marketing.
Sí.
También.
Todas las cosas que vienen en inglés el marketing y es internacional.
Así mismo, sí.
Ya.
Ok, yes, Silvia.
Okay, and these are examples exactly what we meant about the international English language focus. So different kind of Englishes, especially through the videos. There are different kind of videos. There are,
Aquí van a ver diferente, un tipo que habla de Brasil en inglés, ellos han de ser de Estados Unidos y ella es de India, qué sé yo, de algún lugar, pero en inglés hablan al
Sí.
final. Lo que notamos es el acento, porque los hindúes tienen un acento muy particular y
sí,
por la
sí.
misma, y nosotros también los hispanos tenemos un acento, todos tenemos un acento diferente. Yes, Silvia.
Okay, so in the middle you can, for example, there's a sitcom. This is quite British, for example, quite yeah, plain English. But the other two videos on the other side, you can see one is one kind of video is about interviews with people from all around the world, and the other one is someone telling a story about his own or her own life, again from different parts of the world. The world. So with different accent, with different context as well. Okay, so this is what we can put on the plate. A global approach is truly a planet of English in terms, of the different English that can be taught, also the different Englishes that can be used in real life, in real world situation. Okay, this is quite important, I think. It's the same concept I said before, but I just wanted to reinforce it through these videos. So it's very communicative. Okay.
Just one question, Silvia. If
Sí.
regarding to grammar goes to American grammar, right? Like color or color. Just in the grammar and in the grammar side.
The grammar side is, I think it's more, well,
Printed.
but the grammar, you're talking about the spelling or the grammar? Because I think spelling, it depends on a text. For example, a text accompany
Yes.
here, someone talking from, I don't know, from Central America, definitely will have a spelling, an American spelling. Grammar rules, no, grammar rules are more British. If I'm thinking, for example, I know in America they use more, you use more simple past than present
Yeah,
perfect, for
exactly,
example.
yeah.
No, it will
Just
be,
regarding to that.
I think it will be more, no, this will be the standard one. This rule in particular, I don't know about the rest, but I can ask if you want something very specific. I can ask to the editorial.
Just a specific don't worry about that. Yes.
Okay, these are other topics I wanted to show you.
Okay.
Can you see, sustainable living, all linked to the 2030 agendas.
Acá esto, por ejemplo, es del 2030.
Sí.
Se habla de temas
But
generales, no hay
again,
de...
not to worry
Yeah.
you. So they're really,
Yeah.
I think, facts and contemporary facts and open. They can also generate actually discussion and debate. They're really interest topics. Even family, for example, the last one. Again, this is quite, it's a different family compared to mine, for example, but it's good to know. So we are teaching also this differentiation, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Qué lindo, sí, muy interesante.
Okay.
Pregunta uno de los asesores si los alumnos tienen certificado al final del curso.
Rodrigo, ¿cómo certificado? ¿Cómo de este curso?
Mira la competencia que tiene como un certificado.
Como un diploma. Cuando termina el año.
Sí.
Como general.
Sí.
No pasa nada.
Lo que no es estudiar.
Sí.
Domi te va a crear en Twitter. Dale.
No, pero si lo generamos también, lo vamos a generar.
Sí, de parte de ellos.
Si lo necesitamos, se lo pedimos.
Ya.
Sí.
Ok, Silvia.
Okay, and here I wanted to show you, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but here there's it's written CERT, which means is an exam style model on exam. So sorry, is an activity modeled on an exam style. So whenever it says CERT, it means that it follows the exams preparation and exams, template, let's say.
Oh, ok, acá está. Cuando se refiere a esto es por el tema de los exámenes.
Yeah.
Ok,
And-
Silvia.
Okay, and the choice of topic again is something even here of these pages. For example, Frida Kahlo. So we're talking about a woman, or we're talking about some women in sports, or the last one is about some disabled with some physical injuries, for example. And all this has been chosen in order to also to develop the 4 C's, the critical thinking, creative thinking as well, all this approach. Let me refresh the 4 C. Critical thinking, creative thinking, communication and collaboration. Okay, these 4.
Por las 5 C.
Sí.
Permiso, sí, me tengo que ir al colegio de mis hijos.
Okay, and last part is here.
Last but not least.
Yes, last part, but not least, definitely I think, are the.
Silvia, you are doing great.
Thank you.
Definitely great. I love your presentation, but we still have 5 minutes.
Sorry, of course. Sorry, I've got my cat here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yes,
So
it's actually.
you're a cat lover.
Yes, I am actually. Because on Fridays we work from home.
Oh my God,
Here in
that's
ELi,
nice.
on Fridays, every Fridays, we had the offices closed in Milano. I'm based in Milano. And Fridays we are all at home. So now my cat just got into the room. Okay, so this is the last part, and it's just a recap of all the digital offering. But I invite you to go on the website.
I will go to the phonetic symbol chart with audio. La parte de símbolo
Sí.
fonético es súper importante ahora. ¿Por qué? Porque justamente por el tema del alfabeto internacional, ¿verdad? De que se habla así. Entonces, nosotros tenemos la libertad ahora de poder escuchar, y la parte fonética es importante para determinar cómo se pronuncian las palabras.
Okay,
Yes, Silvia.
some main competitors. Well, this is
Hace rato
something.
también.
Yes, this is it's something you will receive. Again, I'm happy to send you the entire presentation and to give you all the possible links you might need. Just let me know, when and what you need. I've just got a question. Unless you got other questions, I wanted to ask you whether you think our, the ELi approach could fit in your market, whether you think our products could fit in your in Paraguay with your teachers, can be used by your teachers.
¿Piensan ustedes que van a tener la buena posibilidad con estos materiales que va de preprimaria a secundaria, con todo un mismo approach, un mismo nivel, así todo bien orientados seguidos? Sí. There are all yeses here, Silvia.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And remember, I'm happy with also my colleagues to run other sessions. Should you need some more into sales, session for you, but also for teachers, okay, to support you. This is my job, so I'm available.
I will trust me then. De por ahí si tienen profesores que ya les gustó y qué sé yo, y se pueden juntar 5 o 6 y hacen, como dice Rodrigo, un panel de expertos, y ella hace la presentación con los profesores del material. Yes, that will be very much appreciated, Silvia.
Of course. Just let Giacomo knows, and then let me know. I'm more than happy.
Okay.
Have you got any other questions?
¿Preguntas? No.
We had only 2 words. Thank you.
Grazie,
Silvia,
grazie.
Silvia,
Sì.
don't forget, send me please the recorder this
Yes.
meeting
Mhm.
and your presentation too, please.
Of course, of course.
Thank you very much.
Sicuramente. Ok.
Seguramente, Silvia. Thank you very much. Sì.
Grazie, arrivederci.
Grazie. Arrivederci,
Ciao.
buona fortuna.
Ah, hasta pronto.
Ciao.